that light really is bright.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I kept
right?
looking out. Which is why I kept looking out the window.
That's like poltergeist or something, man. I'm looking into the light. I feel like I'm being sucked into the TV or something like that.
Hey, I'm recording you right now.
So,
All right.
So,
Mr. Born Global, Mr. Geek himself, the creator, the initiator. Tell us, man. Tell us about this. Tell us about your expectations from the beginning and the culmination of the trip up until now.
Well, I mean, the trip to me has been awesome, right? So, I mean, even with globe hopping the way I do, I always love sharing it with people, and the opportunity to be able to share it with people who have great expertise. Everybody from someone who's great expertise, great backgrounds, to young man like Majid who's just basically trying to figure it all out. So the whole kind of opened the eyes up, and then even with I thought it was really cool with Jeanette to be able to go through places she's already been, but then show her a space that even though she's been there several times, she's never seen. And I got to tell you that the unexpected thing that came out of the trip that I love the most, I can't say I love it the most, but I loved, was that when we went into a place, we found great people that we connected with as the host, and then we took them into places in their own country that they had no idea existed. And then after that, they themselves were invigorated and had a huge commitment to those spaces. That, to me, that was just awesome. I mean, talk about becoming an evangelist for Americans and telling Americans what's going on. We've become an evangelist for the country, the other people in the country. I mean, I'm psyched that when you put in a Google or a Microsoft Bing search, that you get Geeks Africa, that half of the things in Geeks Africa are us. I'm really psyched about that. I just love all of it, man. The whole thing has been really, really wonderful. And more than anything else, a lot of things that we think up at Genius Core are cooked in the heads of just a couple of people, right? And they're just vetted through like one or two folks before they're released out to the public to find out whether or not they have traction. And to have the people on this trip, my brothers and my mothers and everything on this trip, my surrogate son, that now that I share with Veda, to have them make the commitment to put up their funds and their time in order to go on one of these adventures with me, and to have the faith that there's something that maybe they haven't seen, or they could have an adventure, or they could build their businesses, that they could do it all based on what we've put together. That level of trust is something that I don't take lightly, and I'm sincerely thankful to the people who came on this trip, and they're always my family, and the conversation is always there, and the role of a facilitator, I'm always there to facilitate them for anything that they need. And the gelling between this group has been awesome. Things that happen in Senegal, we're still joking and laughing about, reoccurring jokes all the way up into Egypt, of which you get to hear none of them because you're not on the trip yet. All those jokes are inner jokes. That's kind of like what happened in the group stays in the group type thing. No, it was a beautiful trip, man. Absolutely beautiful trip, and I loved the whole thing, and I loved all the people we met, and I'm really looking forward to extending the collaboration with everybody who we met on this trip as Genius Core members, because people don't know, as soon as we touch you, you're a Genius Core member, and you're somebody that we're committed to collaborating with, committed to facilitating, committed to connecting to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conduit for the future of our world, which is innovation, and that's about it, man. I feel like Russell Simmons on Def Comedy Jam, and I almost feel like just saying, well, good night.
Well, I got one, a follow-up question. As a veteran in the innovative space, and what you have experienced in the past, what are some of the things that maybe stuck out to you to say, this was kind of like an aha moment for me on this trip? Was it some of the group dynamics, or was it some of the individual innovators that was on this trip? So just kind of give us a feel as a veteran in the innovative space, something that really, kind of stuck out for you?
Well, I've had this conversation twice now. I can honestly remember. 9 times out of 10, if I say I've had it twice, I probably repeated it 100 times and just didn't realize it. At least that's what Hanif told me. But honestly, several years ago, we had the conversation about, what did the United States have to offer anymore? When you have IT and programmers and other people, emerging in places like India, being very good at it too. Creativity out of, people don't understand the level of creativity in a place like China. I mean, oh my God, the user interface design, the user experience design, the design element period out of those spaces is amazing. And so the question is, as the United States, where's our competitive edge? What do we have that we can offer the rest of the world? And I am convinced that what we have is our spirit. I really, no political tie one way or the other. I'm just, quoting our president, and President Obama with this concept of audacity to hope. I honestly believe that what we have as Americans is the audacity to hope. It means that when everything else is just don't make any sense, things don't look like they're right, I found myself pitching the e-commerce concept here a little bit better, and I was approached with 1 or 2 issues that were in the way, but I say, listen, I'm an American. We're just used to just stepping over our problems. We find another way. We figure out another way to do that. I honestly think like the product that we have to export is that spirit, right? If we send somebody from Senegal or Kenya to the United States, they go to school for 4 years and they come back almost exactly the same, just with a degree, you don't think that they've been Americanized. The concept of an individual becoming Americanized is when they have that darn audacity. So when they come back with that audacity, that spirit of, oh man, there's no such thing as a problem. Oh, we can step right over that. Let's just get it done. Then you say, oh, he was in the United States, he become Americanized. So that means that that's a characteristic that people, the world, literally leans on us for. They need us. That the core of that innovative spirit, beyond just innovating, but what unlocks it and makes it real is the ability to just step over your problems with gall and with fortitude. And that's what I believe as Americans we have. And what I've saw through this trip and actually before is that's what we have to share. We go into a space, people want to feed off of that. They want to have that confidence. They know that Americans have constantly innovated in order to get over our problems. We've had some serious problems in our country. I mean, really serious problems. I mean, we're less than 200 years from slavery. We're less than 50 years from a point where cops would beat down African Americans in the street, set them on fire for looking at a woman of the wrong color. We're not really out of the woodworks, but what happens is we constantly innovate and we have the audacity to push beyond these problems. And that's what the world needs from us. That's what we uniquely can give to the world, and that's what I noticed during this trip.
All right. Mr. Geek himself, signing off. That ends it. Peace.